I hope everyone is feeling well today. I know that there is some tension to feel a little trapped. I keep riding the roller coaster of emotions. I can do this. It's all good to stay inside and avoid other people, and then sometimes I just want to get out and go interact like I always did. So I know that you're feeling that roller coaster of emotions. If I'm feeling it, you're feeling it, and your neighbor's feeling it, and your friend's feeling it. We're all feeling it. But I do believe that we are being given a gift of time. As much as we are trying to prevent the toxins outside of us from entering in, we're being given this gift to go inside and clean some things up, to detox our own mind, our own body. Pain is a physical symptom of the pain and suffering that's going on inside. And so if you feel chronic and persistent pain, then you probably need to do some work on the inside. It's the harsh way that you talk to yourself. It's the judgments that you make about yourself. It's the criticism, the internal dialogue that you have with yourself. The way that we think and talk about ourselves, we would never talk to a loved one that way. And think about that. The way that you talk to yourself, when you're able to pause and really listen to what it is you're saying to yourself, you would never say that to someone else. And so it's time to start treating yourself better. So let me give you a little example. I love to cook. I am feeling a little challenged in all the meals that I need to cook right now. But I'm also a terror in the kitchen. When I get going, I make a big mess and have to clean it all up later. So the other day, I think it was Sunday, my daughter was baking cookies in the oven, and during this time I've noticed that my oven is not the temperature inside that it says that it is outside. So I had stuck a deep fryer thermometer into the oven to try to monitor the temperature so I can gauge where to set the oven, especially with baking. And when we pulled she put it in there and it fell all the way to the bottom. And so when I was pulling it out, I was having trouble reaching into the oven. And as I brought it out, I dropped it on the floor and it smashed all over the place. And immediately I was worried that everybody was okay. But that thought ran through my head like, oh, you idiot. Like, why can't you just do things in the kitchen and not make a big mess? And so for the next hour while I was cleaning up that mess, I heard that in my head, like, ugh. And at some point I just paused and I calmed myself. I calmed that talk to myself, and I just said, you make mistakes, and let's make sure that everybody here is safe. And yes, if it takes some time, it takes some time. And I was down in the floor in a squat position, and I thought, well, here I'm stretching my hips, I'm stretching my back, even while I'm scrubbing the floor. And hey, look, I can actually do this. I can get down this low. And so I just started a different kind of internal dialogue and just recognizing other things, little things that I had gratitude for. So how do we stop that internal dialogue? Because we must stop. Because if we have the internal dialogue, it's going to show up as pain, but it's also going to show up in how we treat other people. We're going to lash out to other people. If we're not feeling good about ourselves, then we're just going to be lashing out to others. And right now, where we're not doing other things that help release our stress and anxiety, and we have the people that we love closest to us right now, we need to decide how it is that we're going to treat them. And the way that we treat them is that we get right with ourselves. And we do that with grace. The only way that we can get right with ourselves is to realize that we are this precious, God created, God-like human. And humans make mistakes. We're not perfect. And when we allow ourselves to sit with that grace, then we can relax and feel a little bit more at ease. So let's meditate this morning. Find that comfortable position for you. Maybe adjusting your posture if you need to. Whenever I come to a position where I know I'm going to be sitting still for a while, I like to wiggle just a little bit, maybe roll the shoulders. Take a nice big inhale and just come to a focus on your breath. Watching that flow of air in through the nose all the way down to the belly. And just arrive into yourself. Be comfortable with yourself. For these next few moments, we're going to let go of all judgment. We're going to change the judgment into curiosity. As we settle with the focus on our breath, we will notice sensations of the body. And as you take your awareness to the sensation, just be curious about what you feel, where you feel it. And then just let the awareness of that sensation go and return to the breath. And if your awareness is pulled away into a thought, or a memory, or a belief about yourself, notice, become very aware. Be curious. And then let the thought, the memory, the belief pass right through. Meditation is not about clearing the mind. As we begin a practice of meditation, it's about noticing, letting go, and returning back to the breath, back to the calmness. It's a choice to return to the breath and return to calmness. we practice noticing what it is we feel, we practice noticing what it is we think. And the practice helps us notice even throughout the day. And when we notice with curiosity. Letting go of judgment. And in the curiosity, we can make a choice. We can continue with negative thoughts. We can continue with the negative internal dialogue. Or we can choose grace. We can choose to be filled with grace. Filling with grace and accepting who we are. Accepting our faults, accepting our gifts. In the grace, we know that we are loved. With the grace, we turn that love inward to ourself. Become kinder to yourself. I'll say that one again. Be kinder to yourself. Be easier on yourself. It's only when we're kinder and easier with ourselves that we can be kinder and easier with others. Use this practice to remind yourself regularly with consistency that you are loved. Use this practice to feel that love. Embody it. Feel love for even those parts of the body that ache. Nurture yourself. Return your focus back to the breath. Sitting for a few breaths, just bathing in the awareness of grace and love and kindness. And on the next breath, bring your awareness back to your whole body. Bring your awareness to your thoughts. But knowing you can return in the moment to notice the grace that you are filled with at all times. Taking another nice big inhale. And moving just a little bit to awaken yourself back to this moment. Another nice big inhale, taking the palms away from the body. Exhale, palms together, thumbs to the heart. So that grace that is in you, I notice it. I notice that grace in you. I want for you to notice it in yourself. Because when we all bathe in the grace, we radiate love and kindness. Namaste.